The 72-year-old marathon runner collapsed at mile 23, but it wasn't his heart that failed him. 3 doctors told me the same shocking truth. The sport he'd been doing for 30 years was systematically destroying his body in ways no one talks about. If you're over 65 and still doing certain healthy activities, you might be making the same deadly mistake. Which seemingly innocent sports are secretly aging you faster? Getting older brings wisdom, experience, and, unfortunately, a body that doesn't bounce back like it used to. After 65, your bones start playing by different rules. They become more brittle, almost like switching from fresh breadsticks to stale ones. What used to be a minor tumble that left you with nothing but bruised pride can now result in a fracture that sidelines you for months. Your joints aren't doing you any favors either. The cartilage that once cushioned your movements like a luxury car suspension system begins wearing thin. Think of it as your body's shock absorbers losing their bounce. Every impact hits harder. Every twist feels sharper. And that smooth glide you once had, well, it's more like driving on a bumpy country road now. Then there's the recovery factor that nobody likes talking about. Remember when you could sleep off a hard workout or shake off a minor injury overnight? Those days are gone. Your body now needs weeks to heal what it used to fix in days. It's like switching from high-speed internet to dial-up. Everything just takes longer. But here's where things get really interesting. Your reaction time starts slowing down too. That split-second decision to dodge a flying ball or catch yourself during a stumble becomes a split second too late. Your brain sends the message, but your body receives it like a delayed text. This isn't just inconvenient. It's dangerous when you're in the middle of any sport requiring quick reflexes. Let's not forget about muscle strength. After 65, you lose muscle mass faster than a deflating balloon. Your legs, which once powered you through activities with ease, now feel like they're working overtime just to keep up. Balance becomes trickier too. That steady foundation you relied on starts feeling more like standing on a rocking boat. And the weird part is, many seniors don't realize how much these changes affect their sports performance until something goes wrong. You might feel fine, energetic even, but your body is operating with different limitations now. The stakes get even higher with intense activities. High-impact sports that involve jumping, sudden direction changes, or contact with other players become particularly risky. Your bones can't handle the same stress. Your joints protest louder, and your muscles fatigue faster than they used to. What makes this whole situation more complex is that staying active remains crucial for healthy aging. You need exercise to maintain bone density, muscle strength, and cardiovascular health. But the very activities that could help you might also hurt you if you're not careful about which ones you choose. The key lies in understanding that your body has shifted into a different gear. It's not broken, it's just operating under new parameters. Some sports that were perfectly safe at 45 become injury magnets at 65. Others that seem boring in your younger years might now be exactly what your body needs. This brings us to a crucial question. Which specific sports are sending the most seniors to emergency rooms these days? Here's where things get really interesting. Remember how we talked about aging bodies being more fragile? Well, some sports are basically designed to exploit every single weakness that comes with getting older. Pickleball has become the poster child for senior sports injuries, and the numbers are absolutely shocking. Emergency rooms across America are seeing record-breaking numbers of older adults coming in with pickleball-related injuries. We're talking torn rotator cuffs, broken wrists, and ankle fractures that require surgery. The weird part is everyone thinks pickleball is this gentle, harmless game. But here's what's really happening. Those quick lateral movements and sudden stops are murder on aging joints and muscles that can't react fast enough anymore. Then there's bicycling, which sounds innocent enough until you look at the stats. Bicycle injuries in people over 65 have skyrocketed 75% since the 1990s. That's not a typo. 3/4 more seniors are getting hurt on bikes than just a few decades ago. Balance issues, slower reflexes, and the simple physics of hitting pavement at any speed create a perfect storm for serious injuries. But wait, it gets worse with weightlifting and heavy strength training. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is obvious, here's the kicker. Many seniors start aggressive weightlifting programs thinking they're being proactive about their health. Makes sense, right? Stronger muscles should mean fewer falls. Well, turns out that sudden heavy lifting can destroy joints that have spent decades wearing down. Herniated discs, torn ligaments, and shoulder injuries become almost inevitable when older bodies try to lift like they're still 25. Downhill skiing and snowboarding present their own special brand of chaos for seniors. The combination of high speeds, icy conditions, and the need for split-second balance adjustments is basically asking for trouble. One bad fall on a ski slope can mean months of recovery, if full recovery even happens at all. And the real shocker? Even sports like soccer and basketball that seem like obvious no-nos for seniors are still played by thousands of older adults who end up in emergency rooms. Those sudden direction changes, jumping, and contact with other players create injury rates that would make insurance companies weep. Let's not forget that some of these activities have become trendy in senior communities, which makes them even more dangerous. When everyone else is doing it, the peer pressure kicks in and common sense goes out the window. People who haven't played competitive sports in decades suddenly think they can jump back in without consequences. The most surprising thing about all these dangerous sports isn't just that they cause injuries. It's how many seniors don't realize they're essentially playing Russian roulette with their independence every time they step onto that court, field, or slope. But here's what makes this whole situation even more concerning than just getting hurt during the activity itself. The hidden dangers lurking in seemingly innocent moments are often the ones that catch seniors completely off guard. Nobody talks about the sneaky injuries that catch seniors off guard. The ones that happen when you're having fun and at least expect trouble. Head injuries top this list, and they're becoming frighteningly common after 65. Falls that might give a younger person a bruise can cause serious brain trauma in older adults. Why? Our skulls don't protect us like they used to, and our brains have less cushioning inside. Even a minor tumble during tennis or a slip on the pickleball court can lead to concussions or worse, but here's what really surprises people. Bowling injuries. Yes, bowling. That seemingly harmless Sunday afternoon activity sends thousands of seniors to emergency rooms each year. The repetitive twisting motion, combined with older bones, creates a perfect storm for hip fractures. One awkward release, and you're looking at months of recovery. Then, there's the gender twist that catches everyone off guard. Men over 65 have double the fracture risk compared to women in many sports activities. Sounds backwards, right? We always hear about women in osteoporosis. Well, men tend to take bigger risks and ignore pain longer. They push through warning signs that women typically heed. Plus, when men do get osteoporosis, it often goes undiagnosed because nobody's looking for it. Group activities and competitive events create their own special hazards. Tripping becomes exponentially more dangerous when you're focused on winning rather than watching your feet. Golf courses have uneven terrain that older eyes might miss. Tennis courts develop small cracks that become ankle breakers. Even walking groups can spell trouble when someone stumbles and takes others down with them. What used to be a simple fix becomes a major medical event after 65. A broken wrist from catching yourself during a fall might require surgery that carries serious risks. Anesthesia affects older bodies differently. Recovery takes longer. Infections become more likely. And the weird part is how these hidden dangers compound each other. A minor ankle sprain from hiking leads to favoring one leg, which throws off your balance, which makes you more likely to fall again. It's like a domino effect that keeps getting worse. The really scary injuries happen during what doctors call transition moments, getting up from a bench after a game, stepping off a curb after your morning jog, reaching for equipment you dropped. These mundane movements cause more serious injuries than the actual sports activities themselves. Weather makes everything worse too. Slightly damp courts become ice rinks for older adults. A little morning dew on the golf course creates slip hazards that younger players navigate without thinking. Even indoor activities become risky when air conditioning makes muscles stiffen up. Most people focus on the obvious dangers and miss these quiet threats entirely. They wear helmets for biking, but ignore the risks of getting on and off the bike. They stretch before exercising, but rush through cool downs when their guard is down. These hidden injuries don't just hurt in the moment. They create lasting damage that changes everything about how seniors live their lives. When a 67-year-old breaks their wrist playing pickleball, they're not just dealing with 6 weeks in a cast. That broken bone might never regain its original strength. Unlike younger people who bounce back from fractures, seniors face a harsh reality. Bones that heal slowly, incompletely, and sometimes Not at all. The numbers tell a sobering story. After age 65, broken bones take nearly twice as long to heal compared to younger adults. But here's what doctors rarely mention up front. Even after healing, that bone remains permanently weaker. It's like trying to repair a crack in vintage china. The fix holds, but it's never quite the same. Hospital stays become inevitable for many sports injuries that younger people would walk off. A torn ACL that sends a 30-year-old home the same day keeps a 70-year-old hospitalized for observation. Why? Because their bodies can't handle the stress of major injuries without medical supervision. Recovery isn't just slower, it's riskier. Then, there's the domino effect nobody talks about. 3 months recovering from a shoulder injury means 3 months of limited mobility. Muscles weaken rapidly during forced inactivity, especially after 65. What started as a tennis injury becomes a comprehensive loss of strength and independence. Getting back to baseline fitness, that can take 6 months or more. Let's not forget the surgery complications that multiply with age. A routine knee operation that's straightforward for younger patients becomes genuinely dangerous for seniors. Anesthesia hits older bodies harder. Infection rates climb. Blood clots form more easily during recovery periods. Suddenly, that weekend warrior mentality carries life-threatening consequences. And the weird part is how one bad injury creates a cascade of fear and inactivity. Sarah, an active 68-year-old, breaks her hip during a recreational volleyball game. 6 months later, she's not just avoiding volleyball, she's afraid to walk her dog on uneven sidewalks. The psychological impact of serious injury often outlasts the physical healing by years. Recovery time becomes the real enemy. While a 25-year-old bounces back from a sprained ankle in 2 weeks, a 70-year-old might struggle for 2 months. During that extended recovery, their overall fitness plummets. Balance deteriorates. Bone density drops further. They emerge from recovery weaker than when the injury occurred, setting up the perfect storm for the next accident. But why does this matter so much? Because many seniors don't realize they're playing Russian roulette with their independence. Each sports injury after 65 carries the potential to end active living permanently. The margin for error shrinks dramatically, yet the consequences expand exponentially. Hospital emergency rooms now dedicate entire protocols to senior sports injuries. Physical therapists see more 65-plus patients than ever before, many dealing with preventable sports-related trauma. The healthcare system is scrambling to keep up with active seniors who don't understand their new physical limitations. Well, here's the reality check. Staying active remains crucial for healthy aging, but the game changes completely after 65. The question isn't whether to stay active, it's how to stay active without destroying the independence you're trying to preserve. Now that we've covered why some sports turn seniors into frequent hospital visitors, let's talk about the good news. You don't have to give up being active just because you're over 65. You just need to be smarter about it. Walking might sound boring, but it's actually one of the best exercises for older adults. No equipment needed, no membership fees, and your bones won't hate you for it. Swimming takes this concept even further. The water supports your body weight, so your joints get a break while your muscles still work hard. Water aerobics classes have become hugely popular because people realize they can get their heart pumping without risking a trip to the emergency room. Then, there's the skiing question. Remember how we talked about downhill skiing being dangerous? Well, cross-country skiing tells a completely different story. Instead of racing down mountains at breakneck speed, you're gliding across relatively flat terrain. Your feet stay planted in the skis, so those nasty twisting falls become much less likely. Plus, it's one of the best full-body workouts you can get. Balance training deserves special attention here. Tai Chi, yoga, and similar activities focus on keeping you steady on your feet. Makes sense, right? If you improve your balance, you're less likely to fall in the first place. These activities also help with flexibility, which means your body can handle unexpected movements better when they happen. Light strength training can actually prevent injuries if done correctly. Notice the word light there. We're not talking about bench pressing your body weight or deadlifting like a 20-year-old. Simple resistance exercises with proper form help maintain muscle mass and bone density. The key is working with a trainer who understands older bodies and won't push you into dangerous territory. But here's where things get really interesting. Adaptive sports programs. Many communities now offer modified versions of popular sports specifically designed for seniors. Softball with bigger, softer balls, tennis on smaller courts with slower moving balls, basketball with lower hoops and no contact rules. These programs keep the fun and social aspects of sports while dramatically reducing injury risk. Senior leagues have figured out something important. Competition doesn't require risking your health. They've created environments where people can still experience the thrill of team sports without the bone-breaking consequences. The rules are adjusted, the pace is manageable, and everyone understands that preserving health comes first. Water-based activities keep showing up in safety discussions for good reason. Pool walking, water volleyball, even water basketball provide resistance training and cardiovascular benefits without the harsh impact on joints. The water acts like a natural safety net, making falls less dangerous and movements more controlled. Let's not forget that staying active becomes more important as we age, not less. The goal isn't to wrap yourself in bubble wrap, it's to choose activities that give you the most benefit with the least risk. Your body will thank you for the movement, and your family will thank you for being smart about it. But knowing which activities are safer is only half the battle. The other half involves making smart decisions before you even step onto the field. Before you lace up those sneakers for a new sport, here's the reality check nobody talks about. Your body at 65 isn't the same machine it was at 25, and pretending otherwise is the fastest way to land in an emergency room. But here's what's interesting. Most seniors who get hurt never saw a doctor first. Getting medical clearance isn't just bureaucratic nonsense. Your doctor knows things about your heart, joints, and balance that you might not feel yet. They can spot warning signs like blood pressure issues or joint problems that could turn a fun game into a disaster. Think about it. Would you drive a car without checking if the brakes work? Well, your warm-up routine is just as crucial. Cold muscles tear like old rubber bands. Spend at least 10 minutes getting your body ready. Light stretching, gentle movements, maybe some arm circles that make you look ridiculous. Who cares? Looking silly for 5 minutes beats looking hurt for 5 months. Then there's the gear question. Some seniors think helmets and wrist guards are for kids. Wrong. Your bones are more fragile now, and your balance isn't what it used to be. A helmet during cycling or skating could be the difference between a good story and a tragic one. Plus, modern safety gear is lightweight and comfortable, not like the bulky stuff from decades ago. But the most important skill? Learning to listen to your body's warning system. That sharp pain in your knee isn't something to push through. It's your body screaming stop. Dizziness during exercise means sit down immediately, not power through like some weekend warrior. Your body talks to you constantly. The smart seniors are the ones who actually listen. Also, the ego factor. Many older adults feel pressure to keep up with younger players or prove they're still tough. That's exactly how injuries happen. There's no shame in modifying activities or choosing the easier version. Cross-country skiing instead of downhill, walking instead of running, swimming instead of contact sports. And the weird part is, the safest approach often leads to the most fun. When you're not worried about getting hurt, you can actually enjoy the activity. You focus on technique instead of just surviving. You appreciate the social aspects instead of grimacing through pain. Smart seniors also know when to call it quits for the day. Fatigue leads to sloppy form, which leads to injuries. Your reflexes slow down when you're tired, making falls more likely. If you're breathing hard or feeling wobbly, that's your cue to wrap things up. The goal isn't to avoid all risk. That would mean sitting on the couch forever. The goal is intelligent risk management. Choose activities that match your current abilities, not your past glory days. Use proper equipment. Warm up correctly. Listen to your body. Makes sense, right? Staying active after 65 is absolutely possible and beneficial, but only if you do it smart. The difference between seniors who stay active for decades and those who get sidelined by injuries often comes down to these simple preparation steps.